Finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, I wanted to just talk a little bit about rights. We're going to hear a lot in the debate about rights, quite rightly. We hear about the rights and fears of the disability community, who are specifically excluded from the bill. We hear a lot about the rights and fears of the elderly, who are also specifically excluded from the bill. We're even hearing about the rights of doctors, who are allowed to conscientiously object to participating in this process if they wish. But when are we going to have the conversation about the rights of the dying? Where do we put them in the ranking of rights as they face their end? When do we grant them the autonomy and choice which so many of them have campaigned for over the years? And surely, as they're coming towards the end of their life, their rights have to be in the forefront of our mind. The last best gift that we can give them is control over the disease which is destroying them. If we don't pass the bill today, we are cornering all those people. We are trapping them with the law against their disease and consigning them to an end of torture and degradation which they do not wish to go through. As I said before, we are a 1,000-year-old democracy. It's not beyond us to design legislation that gives them what they want and protects those who we feel need to be protected. I want, like my right honourable friend, this choice for my constituents, but profoundly I want it for myself, and I want it for those people in the gallery who've been working so hard over the last decade to get us to change our minds. Please be clear, friends, that whatever happens today, terminal people will still take their own lives. All we are deciding today is how. Yeah.
For so often, control is taken away from disabled people in all sorts of circumstances. In order to ensure that there's compassionate choice at the end of life, it is right that this bill is tightly drawn around the final stage of terminal illness for adults and includes the strongest safeguards. The choice of assisted dying as one option for adults when facing 6 months terminal illness must be set alongside the choice of receiving the best possible palliative and end-of-life care, or it is no choice at all. Yeah. Having analysed the bill closely, therefore, there are changes that I would want to see at committee stage to strengthen those options and ensure that the way that choice is presented by medical practitioners is always in the round. People deserve dignity in death, and for those who do not choose to end their lives in this way, they and their loved ones should feel reassured and safe in the knowledge they will receive the very best of care. I'd also want to ensure the final stages of this bill properly define dishonesty, coercion and pressure. I think it's necessary to embed mandatory language in the bill around the need for a code of practice on palliative care, as well as improving the regulations on training for medical practitioners. I trust my friend, the member for Spen Valley, to champion these amendments and continue to diligently to listen to members as she has done throughout this process. Yeah. However people vote in this House today, a decision of conscience, it is incumbent on all of us to commit to improve palliative end-of-life and adult social care. It must be the start of the work that we do in this place to ensure the very highest standards in these areas. That will be a very great legacy indeed, giving people the dignity they need in that moment of death. For many of us across the chamber, considering these issues has been extremely hard and upsetting. We've had to go to the very depths of ourselves to understand what choice we would make today. Whilst we may enter different voting lobbies, we leave this chamber shoulder to shoulder, and I know we will all work in our own ways to make systemic change to improve the lives of our constituents and people up and down this country. Yeah.